What is up? It is Snitchery. How you doing? You know, initially I was not going to film this video. Today we are talking about Selena Gomez's new beauty line, beauty company, Rare Beauty, as I'm sure you saw from the title. And when I first heard about this company, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think a lot of you share this opinion. There are so many celebrities coming out with beauty lines right now that, like, I feel spoiled by choice. None of them have really interested me because there are so many of them. When I heard about this, I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, I like Selena Gomez as much as the next person. Keep an eye out for Selena. I don't know. However, then the PR package arrived. So I received this package yesterday and it's giving me very Glossier. And as you guys know, or maybe don't, lately I've been really into a little bit more of like a minimal look with my makeup. I feel like especially in quarantine, it's like, who has the energy to do a full beat? You know what I mean? Like, who has the energy? Like, who has the fucking energy? So I've actually really been on the lookout for more minimal products that you can just like do a your face but better moment, and that seems to be what this is. And a lot of you guys are also really interested in this, so I thought I would do a first impressions, baby. That's all the intro I'm gonna give because this is a large collection as far as I can tell. If you've never seen my face before and you're ever interested in seeing my face again, feel free to subscribe down below. We would love to have you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me on this little video journey. Like I said, have been having kind of a hard time getting into makeup lately, which means I've been having a hard time getting into YouTube. So if you stuck around, I really appreciate you. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. The first thing I noticed is that the foundations all look pretty dark for me. So they ended up sending, let me backtrack. Here is the booklet that comes with the Rare Beauty PR package. So right off the bat, it looks like there are quite a few foundation and concealer shades. It looks like it's available in 48 shades. That I think is pretty good for a first foundation launch. There is a philanthropic element to this line as well, which is really cool. Their goal is to raise $100 million over the next 10 years, which is a shit ton of money, right? To help increase access to mental health services with a focus on underserved communities. With their first sale and onwards, 1% of annual sales will go directly to the Rare Impact Fund, which is really cool. Though, let me zoom you guys in. What's good? What's poppin'? You guys like this hairstyle? I think it's actually really cute. I'm never gonna give up pigtails, even in my old age of 23. So like I was saying, they sent 3 out of the 48 shades of foundation and concealer, which I actually really prefer. When brands send like the entire range of foundations, like what am I gonna do with Ivory? You know what I mean? Like what am I meant to do with this, love? I don't know what's in this collection, so let me go ahead and dig in to make sure there's not like some kind of prep. Oh, actually, let me reference my booklet. There's a lot in here, so this might be a long video. Get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, strap in, friends. Okay, always an Optimist 4-in-1 mist. It is a hydrating, priming, setting, and refreshing mist. So I'm gonna go ahead in with this first. Let's hydrate that skin, baby. It's a nice fine mist. It does have a scent, but it's actually really pleasant. Really nice. Just smells kind of like fresh. And then I'm gonna go in with the primer here. Okay, so it looks like it's a illuminating primer. It is very, number one, it's very liquidy, but it's also has a bit of a shimmer. I wonder, it looks like most of these products are gonna be liquid, which as somebody who is very on the cream and liquid train lately over powders, I am really excited about. So to be honest, whoa, yeah, that is definitely an illuminating primer. I never really know what to say about primers because you don't really know how they perform until you put something else on top of them. So it's cute. I'm actually not really one for illuminating primers. I kind of just like to go in with a dewy foundation and call it a day, but we'll see how this performs. So out of the 3 of these, this one looks like the only one that might match me. I usually go in with my foundation before my concealer. Okay, so we have another very liquidy product, which I was not expecting. I don't love foundation lately. You guys know that I have not been really wearing foundation in like any capacity in the past couple months. Like a while, like pretty much all of 2020. So I'm interested to see how this works. We also have sponge, which actually looks a little strange. It almost looks, it has like an unfinished look, which I really like. It's not that really smoothed down look that most makeup sponges have. I'm going to just apply. That actually looks like a pretty good shade match. I'll be honest with you guys. Just realized I don't have a mirror. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so there is a mirror in this blotting sheet kit. So I'm gonna take this sponge and just see what it does dry. Okay. Okay, I'm not mad about that. I am gonna wet this sponge because it's very, I don't know how to describe this. It needs to be damp, so I'll be back. Actually, let me not. Let me not. Let me not. Let me spray it with some of this spray and see what happens, because I do think this needs to be a little bit wetter. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so this foundation is, number one, a near perfect shade match for me. It's a little bit orange, but like, geez, you're really not gonna get much better than that. So here's the side without foundation, and then I have some foundation here. It is nice. Very liquidy, very, very, very liquidy, but it's not no coverage. It did still give me a fair amount of coverage here. Also, sorry if the light is changing. I use natural light and it's about to rain. It's giving me like a really nice natural coverage, actually. One thing I will say is that, well, two things I will say is you have to shake it. It has that little ball in there. And number two, it's not one of those products where like a little bit goes a long way. Like you kind of do have to cover your, wow, this is really pretty, guys. I'm very surprised. Not that I was expecting these products to be bad in any capacity, but like I said, I wasn't like super stoked on this launch. The one thing I will say is, again, you have to use a fair amount of products to get that coverage. I'm actually quite impressed that it's not going on cakey at all. One of the most believable skin-like finishes. A lot of foundations will say skin-like finish, and it's like, no, it's a foundation-like finish, right? Like you can tell you're wearing foundation the minute you put it on, but I feel like you guys can probably even see on camera. This looks like my skin. You guys know I've lately been into like silicone sponges, which I think are pretty unpopular now, but I've been really liking them because they are so dense. You don't lose any product. They're very easy to like clean off, at least I found. This just feels, it's not my favorite. That might be personal preference, but it's not very dense at all. Like I said, it just feels like it's sort of cut from this like, I don't even know what this is. I don't know. It's not applying the product in my favorite way, but that aside, the foundation itself, that is stunning. That is absolutely stunning. It looks like I'm wearing nothing, but my skin looks so much better. So I used the 270N foundation there, and I'm gonna take the matching concealer. There are two brushes, it looked like, in this collection as well. Let's see what they say they're for. So one is a foundation brush. I didn't use that, I used the sponge, but we can go ahead and use the concealer brush. Okay. Very dense brush. I'm kind of like, where did the concealer go? But I also think, to be completely honest, I'm almost being tricked by the, like you can see that it's covering something. I feel like I'm almost being tricked by what a perfect shade match this is for me. Or like, because I can't see the product distributing, I almost feel like it's not there. Wow, guys. Is this not like a pretty spectacular base? I will tell you in person that this looks really, really good. Medium coverage, satin finish. Now it doesn't look like there's any bronzer in here, so I'm gonna go in with 370N. I don't love how liquidy it looks in there, but it looks so nice on the face. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of bronzing action around the perimeter of my face. I kind of want to see like how much I can get out of this foundation, because I'm like, do you see how that just kind of melts? The foundation never dries down, so you can just kind of melt the colors into one another. I'm actually pretty happy that they sent me a shade that was a little bit too dark for me that can double as a bronzer. This is pretty. The other product I want to mention before we really get into things is blotting sheets. I have nothing to blot right now. Mostly I'm just going to be using the mirror. I will say I feel like I'm kind of achieving that Selena glow. So next, I did see that there are brow products, and I really want to try one of the brow products because you guys know how I feel about brows, okay? Brows are kind of a defining feature on this channel, and they're certainly the defining feature on my face. They're always different. We have what looks like a tinted brow gel here, and then I would assume some kind of pencil on the other side. Selena Gomez has freaking stellar brows, okay? So I'm interested to see what she's gonna do for us bald brow bitches. All right, I have really thin brows. I always have, I always will. I've never plucked them, okay? So they are what they are. Oh my God, I cannot get this other side open. Is it only a one-sided product? Is it just a brow gel? It looks like this side would open. What the fuck? So happy to report it was a pop off. No twisting necessary. It was a brow pencil, by the way. This is a little triangle, like teardrop. Oh, okay, okay. This is not the kind of pencil I was anticipating. So let me get a little bit closer so you guys can see it is very pigmented, which I love. I love a pigmented brow pencil. I do not want my brow pencil to drag. I like creating little hair-like strokes. And I feel like to get that, you have to have a very creamy brow pencil, if that makes any sense. If it's really dry, I feel like it never deposits in a sleek little line in the way I want it to. I almost want like a gel in a pencil. So I'm just creating those little hairs. This is a pretty good brow match for me too. I'm gonna go ahead in with the other side now, the brow gel. So this, I'm not the biggest fan of tinted brow gels, to be completely honest. I love Gimme Brow by Benefit. That's like the one. You are the only exception, okay? Gimme Brow. But typically a tinted brow gel, I feel like are just very messy. I'd rather just add in, you know what? It's giving me the Selena brow. It's giving me very Selena brow energy. This I do really like. I like my brows to look pretty messy, but like this brow versus this brow, for it to be included in one one product, I think that's pretty dang impressive. I don't like this little teardrop shape. I feel like I'm always having to re-angle the brush for the new sharp point. If you want a sharp point in your pencil, I would rather you just gave us a micro pencil, especially for something that is so pigmented and more of a gel formula. I feel like I've lost that sharp edge that I really, really enjoyed when I first opened the product. What's next, Selena? Okay, so it looks like there are no like eye products, that it's just this eyeliner. I do not really wear liquid eyeliner anymore, to be completely honest. It used to be my jam, it used to be my thing, but now I kind of do an eyeshadow wing that is a nice, thin, tiny little line. I just created a little wing on my hand here, so you guys, I guess it's an upside down wing, so you guys could see how tiny you can get with this pen. It's not too loosey-goosey. A lot of times where you get a very thin line, the top is really, really like loose. It's pretty structured, so I do think you probably won't lose that very, very fine tip with use. So next we have blushes. These are, I guess, liquid blushes. Let me reference my booklet. Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. There are 8 of them. They sent me 4 of them. Some of them are dewy and some of them are matte. Here we have our 2 matte shades, our 2 dewy shades. Now immediately I'm going for that one. This is the shade Joy. I'm gonna go ahead and use the foundation brush. Start kind of conservative. I love, 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 love orange blushes, and I love cream blushes. So I'm hoping it's everything I want it to be. Quite pigmented. Okay, way more pigmented than I anticipated, which is not bad, but definitely, whoa. God, that's pretty though. This foundation, man, I'm telling you, I'm getting more and more impressed with it as time goes on. It's allowing all the other products in the collection to just melt. So here's with no blush, and here it is with the blush. I want to try using one of the matte blushes too. One thing I don't like about doe foot applicators, y'all, I always have to wipe off the excess, and then the applicator, or I should say the bottle, just gets like disgusting after the first use, and just pat that out. It does seem like you do have a little bit of time to work with this stuff, but I don't know how quickly it actually does dry down. Like that, that is pretty. That is so pretty. Typically I probably wouldn't reach for the matte formula. However, because this foundation sort of sits in the middle between dewy and matte, I do see why they did both. God, you really do have to like be kind of careful with this stuff though, because it is, like I said, it is pigmented. I'm gonna go back over my under eyes with this little sponge. I don't think that because it's dewy and because I didn't set it with anything that the concealer is as full coverage as I'm used to with my concealer. So I am sort of like reaching for that full coverage moment. But I also, as you guys know, have very dramatic under eye bags compared to the average bear. So you might not have too much trouble with this. I'll talk a little bit about the highlighter option they have. So we have some liquid highlighters. Now I don't like liquid highlight, okay? I am also not a huge fan of liquid highlighter. I don't know why. It's kind of still the one product, even in a fully cream and liquid foundation, that I've sort of adopted that I'm still not the biggest fan of. I feel like it always looks very textured. It never sits in the way that I really, really want it to. So I'll be interested to see how these perform. We have 4 colors, and there are in fact 8 colors of these again. So we have Mesmerize, which looks like a pretty standard pink. Transcend, which looks more like a rose gold. Flaunt, which just looks like a very bronzy shade. I think this would be a little bit too dark for me as a highlight, but I love to see it. And then Outshine, which is a gold. I think I'm gonna go for Transcend. It's another doe foot applicator, so I am gonna have to wipe off the excess. And instead of going straight onto my face, I'm just gonna put it onto the concealer brush. yeah, it's just like, just feel like it's so intense. Like even as the camera darkens, it almost, I feel like, takes away from the like no makeup look of dewy makeup, because then it's like over here, it's like, is she wearing makeup? Who's to say? A little blush? Bam. You know what I mean? I do like this color. It's a very pretty color. I don't hate it. It's just not, it's not my type of highlighter. This is also not a great brush to be using with this. That blush on this side especially was so intense. Also, it looks like we are dried down here. So these are the blushes. These are the mattes. You can probably see that they are very matte. And here are the creams, which stay seemingly very, very creamy. So here we are now. This is just, I guess, what I would consider like a base. I obviously have no lip makeup on and no eye makeup. So if you were just buying, oh, the sun, hello. If you were just buying items in this collection to get a new base, I think these products are really nice. They're quite pretty. Next we have lips. So we have quite a few lip options and I'm very torn between which one I want to try. So first we have these. These are, they look like lip creams to me. Let me see what they're actually categorized as. Yeah, a lip cream. So this is supposed to be a one stroke color with a vivid finish. I'm gonna go in with Brave and see what's up. Okay, this is not nearly as pigmented as I would have thought. In fact, it is very, very little pigment. I'm gonna try with another color on my bottom lip. So I will go into Fearless here. Yeah, no, it's more of a wash of color, which makes a lot more sense. I feel like a full lip color with this kind of makeup is just very, very aggressive, but keep in mind these are two different colors. They're just, I'm not in love with either of those colors. And I think those are the two brownest offerings. A little orange, a little purple. So as far as the formula goes, I don't dislike them. They, like I said, they do make more sense in tandem with the rest of the collection. It almost reminds me of the NYX pillow, what are they called? Plushies. The NYX plushies. I did the campaign for them for this product, the NYX plushies. They're not gonna give you full coverage, but they're also not just like a sheer tint. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I'm gonna add some lip liner because y'all know I need that with a lip balm, and I will be back. That was not the color I intended to pull. That is so dark, especially to pair with a lip balm, so we'll see what happens. So we've got 4 colors here. Number 1, we have, this is the shade Thankful. And again, this looks like a brown. I love a brown. You'll never catch me in these streets in a pink. Then we have an even darker brown, which is Appreciate. Next, we have this red here. This is Empathy. Yeah, these are definitely Selena names and also seem to be very tied into like kindness and happiness. And then we have Honor. So this is just, I think, a clear. I'm gonna go in with the first one I pulled, which was Thankful, because this looks like my exact dream lip shade. Okay, yeah, this is definitely too dark of a liner. These are not really like a lip balm though. These are much more lipstick. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's like, that is a color. That is distinctly a color. It feels like a lip balm. My lips are really dry, so they do kind of, they need this. They're begging for it. Okay, so I took off most of the lip liner, and I do like how it looks. Definitely better. I guess I was expecting more along the lines of the Milk chapstick, which you guys know I'm freaking obsessed with. I love the Milk lip balm. That is like a true lip balm with a little hint of pigment that you can kind of diffuse lip liners into. This is like, this is a full lipstick that's assumingly will also hydrate your lips. I'm gonna go in and try the shade Empathy. You guys can probably see that's like, that is a lipstick. I'm gonna go ahead and take most of it off. Okay, as you guys can probably tell and maybe agree, I think the look looks better without it. I think it's just a little intense. Okay, so I did a little bit of a wing, put on a bit of a lash, and I'm just gonna add on the clear, which I almost feel like feels a little bit different than the other ones. It feels more like a lip balm. It's probably the same formula, so I might be making that up. With a bit more of an eye though, I think the glossiness makes a bit more sense. Guys, I am deeply impressed by this collection, okay? The only thing that I didn't try was this little blotting paper situation. It looks like it's standard like Sephora pricing, so certainly not cheap, but it's not gonna be any more expensive than any other brand that you find in Sephora. I'm genuinely impressed by a first launch of a company that initially I was not that excited about. I think it's sort of right on the money with what people are wanting nowadays with that like your face but better, or you're not trying to build a new face onto your face. It's just intended to make you look like you're not really wearing any makeup at all, but that you woke up flawless that day. And that's kind of the makeup I've been most interested in lately, so I'm excited to see Miss Gomez do it. And now we have reached the end of our video. I think that was probably a pretty long one because there were so many products to get through, so if you made it to the end of this video, hit me with a flower emoji down in the comments, any flower you want. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I would really recommend checking out some of these products, which maybe I'm jaded by all the celebrity makeup lines, but I was not going into this expecting to be so impressed. And I'm really excited. Like, this foundation genuinely will be my new everyday staple. I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah! Bye, guys!